A Game of Thrones fan theory posits that Lord Peter Littlefinger Baelish is still alive, having faked his death with a faceless man. Game of Thrones Season 7 finally saw dastardly schemer Lord Peter Littlefinger Baelish executed for his crimes against the Starks, but one fan theory suggests that he actually fakes his death using a faceless man. The penultimate season of HBO's epic historical fantasy series ended with a massive finale that saw the wall coming down thanks to an ice dragon, Jon and Dany getting it on, Sam and Bran figuring out why Jon and Dany should definitely not be getting it on, Cersei being her usual devious self, and Peter Baelish finally meeting his end. Hello everyone, if you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notifications bell, so you don't miss any new updates on your favorite TV series. The Lord Protector of the Vale was not a character that fans were overly disappointed to see go, after 7 seasons of manipulation, not to mention the horrible decision to leave poor Sansa with the evil Ramsay Bolton. Fans cheered as Sansa got her revenge, outwitting Littlefinger and joining forces with her siblings in order to have him begging on the floor before Arya slit his throat. However, not everyone is convinced by the Starks' apparent victory. YouTuber Neo has posited a theory that Littlefinger found a way to fake his death, and will be back in the final season. No death in Game of Thrones is especially odd, since it's a show with an incredibly high body count. However, it does seem strange that a character as intelligent and scheming as Littlefinger could be trapped and killed quite so easily. Baelish was already aware that he was in danger at Winterfell when Sansa was younger and alone. She was relatively easy to manipulate, but the new, tougher Sansa is thinking for herself. Once Arya and Bran returned to Winterfell, it was increasingly obvious to Baelish that he needed to keep them from rallying together in order to maintain his position of influence with Sansa. This is why Littlefinger was trying to create infighting between the Stark sisters in the first place, and it's difficult to believe that he was entirely convinced it was working. Bran himself gave the game away when he told Peter, "Chaos is a ladder," echoing what Baelish himself had said to Varys when they were alone in the throne room in Season 3. Littlefinger must have realized at this point that Bran, at least, knew more about him than he should, and that he was in danger at Winterfell. And yet, a man who is known for traveling all over Westeros in order to save his own skin decided to simply stay put and hope he would be okay. It's extremely out of character for Littlefinger to stick around when things start heating up, especially when he has somewhere else, the Vale, where he could go, and a way to get there safely. So if Littlefinger is too smart to be caught in this trap, how could he have escaped, but still had his throat cut in the Great Hall? With the help of the Faceless Men, of course. We already know that Littlefinger has a connection to Braavos, because before his family came to Westeros, they were Braavosi. His great-grandfather was a sellsword in Braavos before coming to the Vale, which Peter mentions in the series. He also confirms that he knows who the Faceless Men are, if only by reputation, and it's very possible that Littlefinger is lying about the extent of his knowledge. Presumably, growing up from a Braavosi family, he has heard plenty about the House of Black and White. Further suggesting that Littlefinger is aware of the Faceless Men is his smirk when he hears Arya say to Brienne that no one had trained her with a sword. It seems that, as usual, Littlefinger knows more than he is letting on. Then, in Season 7, Episode 5, Arya observes an interesting exchange. Littlefinger stops to talk to a blonde stranger in a corner of the castle. She says to him what sounds like, "Your time is up," before he gives her a coin and she goes on her way. She may have simply been a spy for him, and he may have been paying her for her services, but if this is the case, it makes it even more likely that he would have left Winterfell immediately to save his skin. However, given his Braavosi connections, it's possible that this woman is a faceless man herself, and that the coin he gives her is not payment, but one of the coins of the House of Black and White. If this is true, Peter could have been setting her up to take on his face, and to stand in his place to be killed, while he leaves Winterfell for the Vale. We know that it's possible for a faceless man to wear the face of a living person, thanks to Arya seeing her own face on the body of Jaqen Hagar in Season 5, and given Littlefinger's scheming, wealth, and Braavosi connections, it's entirely possible that the Starks killed no one. If this theory pans out, it means that the books could play out very differently, because Littlefinger hasn't bled out on the floor of the Winterfell Hall, but is still alive, still scheming, and somewhere else entirely. It's possible that he has headed back to the Vale, leaving the soldiers at Winterfell behind, where he is still Lord Protector. As for his plan, it seems unlikely that Baelish would return to the Lannisters, as they know that he isn't to be trusted, but it is possible that he could attempt this. It's also possible that he would attempt to take down the Stark family, but given his obsession with Catelyn, it seems that he may not take self-preservation that far. However, having been revealed to be a traitor by the Starks, this also means that he would be unable to go to Daenerys and throw in his lot with her as future queen. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.